Wah, 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 wah. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Clobberin Times. This is you number 296 on YouTube, but 996 overall. And it's good to see you here on a wild card Wednesday. I don't know. My StreamYards is going wonky, so I hope some of you are still here that showed up in the chat. I can't really tell. It shows no one here hanging down. It's just it's all over the place. I don't know. But I'll back my chat up anyway to say some hellos to my wonderful friends who have popped in, of course. Snorty, what's up? Snorty Poopus. I can't do it as well as Raquel. You know that, brother. But it's great to see you here tonight, buddy. If you're still here, shout out to everyone who's still here. D Bud Martin, the man of iron. What's up, my brother? J-Man, buddy, can't wait to talk to you soon, man. Looking forward. I hope you guys had a great show tonight. I wish I could have been there. I think you have one tonight. I wish I could have been somewhere. I couldn't be anywhere, really. Sorry about that, but man, hope you guys had a great show. The master of the Rinse Canadian, Mr. Chris Persia. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Your Muslim uncle. Hail, my friend. And peace be upon you. I never know how to say any of that stuff other than just say hello. And hello there, Louise X. Sparrow. It is good to seeing you. J-Man, I'm so happy you're watching Blake 7, man. You got to tell me what's going on. You're dying over it. What's happening, man? You could tell me here. It won't be spoilery to me. And I think everyone here has probably seen it. So you could, if you got anything to say about it, of course, first I'll put out my usual info from our wonderful First Officer Raquel Briggs. Her wonderful works of science fiction, literary works are available right there. There's the description for it. The great Edit K, what's up? Bronze Wrencher, buddy. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Always a pleasure, Wrencher of Bronze. Good to see you, bud. So what's going on with that? Where are you now on Blake 7 there? J-Man, doesn't take long to get through it, I can tell you that. Keeps going rolling. Andy Masterson, what's up, bud? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, I need to let's see here. Put out a question that we all want answered. And hopefully we'll get an answer for that. Now, there we go. Sorry about that. Distracted a little bit. Had to put something out there. Let's see here. Phantom Outsider, what's up, brother? The Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers. Good to see you, my friend. That's a very important point that I've talked about forever with Blake 7. J-Man, as you say, and I totally agree with that. The writing is incredible. No scene is wasted. Every character is unique and interesting. I am only 6 in or so. Travis just came in. Yes, Travis starts with the episode Seek, Locate, and Destroy. And I love that's their. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I just say that I love Travis. Let me put it to you like that. And now you're going to get to start to get to knowing Serverland, man. You are in for if you're already seeing in the show all the good qualities that some people take longer to see, that I'm envious of you, and you are in for a ride because you got Travis, but Serverland is wonderful. I love all of the characters. Yes, like most people, I fall into that category of loving Avon the most, but I really do love them all. And what a ride. I'm so envious that you're in for that, because I've seen those. Again, as I say, there is no year that has passed in my life since I started watching that show over and over again in 1987, where I had video copies of all of them that I borrowed from a friend, and then later, of course, recorded it. Oh, she's addicted already. Oh, man. You and your wife are just awesome. I cannot wait to talk to you about Blake 7, buddy. But ever since 1987, when I fell in love with the show, I've watched them all every year. I bought every VHS, all the VHSs when they put them out on VHS way back then, of course. Then that's the only way it's ever been released in America, by the way, is by VHS. And I bought them all. And of course, even before I bought them all, before they came out the way, I had them all recorded and had watched them over and over and over again. I've seen the entire series, well, every year since then, and of course, in some episodes over and over again, even more than others. Um, I'd put my, if there were a way to count how many times you've watched the entire series, I'd put mine up against anybody in the world, and in certain episodes, beyond that, certain episodes that I love, beyond that, I love these characters. I'm unhealthily obsessed with the show. Now, no figures. There was some merchandising back in the late 70s and early 80s. J-Man, where they had stuff like a couple little, Corgi Liberator model, different models, things like that. But there are no figures. There are no Blake 7 figures at all. I'd do anything to have an Avon figure, or all of them, really. I'd have them all. What little merchandising there has been very tiny. And it's been relegated to books, magazines, and what have you. And of course, again, the VHSs way back when. I still have all my VHSs of it. I'll never get rid of those. There was a Marvel, and there was a Marvel magazine, Marvel UK put out. There was a Blake 7 weekly mag. I only have a couple of those, unfortunately, because you couldn't get that much over here. British show over there, and it's not as big as Doctor Who. And there was the Marvel mag. Again, there were some books. There was, I got a shirt, of course. I've got a couple of shirts. And so yeah, very, very, again, very skimpy on the merchandise, unfortunately, because I would have anything that was possible to get. Like I said, there's some of it, but it was never. None of the merchandise has ever been available over here, and so which is a damn shame. But yes, keep me posted on that, buddy. I really like to hear. Our buddy Mark D with a C is a little bit farther along than you. But he's somewhere in the third season or somewhere like that. I can't wait till he's able to talk a little about it a little bit more. But as you can see, I'm chomping at the bit to talk to anybody about Blake 7. It's just one of my passions, and it's weird because, it's the antithesis of Star Trek, and yet I love it because Star Trek is my big thing. Oh, you're gonna watch one a day? Well, there you go. 52 episodes, so that'll stretch it out for you a little bit. And unfortunately, those VHS tapes might have degraded. Oh yeah, I'm sure they have. I bought Die Hard VHS when it originally came out about 10 years later. Oh, I'm sure they have, Phantom. I'm just going to keep them anyway. Yeah, what the hell? I got to keep them. I still have all my old Doctor Who VHSs. I don't even have a VHS player that works anymore. But I still have all my old VHS tapes. Just got to hang on to those, some of them. What are you going to do? Let's see here. Some show notes, folks. Let's see. Coming up on the program on the Clobberin Times. Let's see. It is tomorrow night. Where is it? Oh. Well, tomorrow night, Clobby's Clubhouse, of course, with our wonderful first officer, Raquel, and, of course, our great chief engineer, Monica D, what I see. They will be joining me for some fun, and I'm looking forward to that. And of course, Saturday night Star Trek. Once again, look, what a great time we are having on Saturday night Star Trek, and it's all because of you. We really appreciate you all so much for hanging out with us and having such a great time. We have such a great time with you. We can't thank you enough. So, same Trek time, same Trek channel. Saturday night Star Trek, 4 more episodes, and I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk might be an open. I'm not sure what that's going to be yet this coming Monday. All right, Jay, man, you take care, bro. Thanks for popping in, man. It's always good to see you, my buddy. Keep me posted on that. I can't. If you ever have any questions or anything, just let me know. Let's see here. So, that will be then, and of course, next Wednesday, February the 9th, that Clobberin Times 1000th episode celebration is here. And it's going to be fun. It'll be 2 p.m. Central Standard Time in the daytime, but I plan for it to run all day. And yes, hopefully many, many guests will be popping in. And throughout the course of the day, I'm looking forward to it. Just going to be great. So let's see here. And then a week from this Monday night, yes, Valentine's Day night, because what do I have to do on Valentine's Day night? Some of you might be busy, but not me. We don't know the exact time yet. And Blake, I think J-Man had to go, so I have not cleared the time with, but J-Man, it looks like we have planned. I think he said pretty much that we're good for this night. So I will go ahead. We will have another classic comics, Clobby's Classic Comics review. So let's see here. I'm not exactly sure which and what time we will start, but J-Man and myself, and I don't know if Sean's going to. I hope Sean joins us tonight, but I'm sure. But a week from Monday night, Valentine's Day night, Kingdom Come is going to be the classic Clobby's Comics Classic review. So read up, folks. Do your homework, clobberers. It's going to be a bumpy ride on that one. Going to be fun. It's a classic. And I had a great time with Mark D with the C, of course, this past week, hanging out. With, that was a lot of fun. I want to thank him. I don't know if you're out there, brother, but thanks so much for hanging out with me. That was a lot of fun. Reviewing Marvel 2 and Annual number 7. So this one is going to be great. I can't wait to do it. Really looking forward to it. So there's we go. And that's some show notes for you. What the hell? Oh, okay. So hey, Jobber, what's up, dude? Just Joe 47. What's going on, man? What's up? How is everybody doing out there tonight? It could be just you and me tonight. I think Flash might be busy. Oh my goodness, there's the lovely Sherry. At least we're classing up the joint. We have lovely ladies like Louise X Sparrow, and now we have the lovely Sherry, who is lovely indeed. Hello there, Sherry. How are you doing, my dear? Sherry Baby, as the song says. I hope you don't mind me just quoting the song at you there. It's great to see you, Sherry. I hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Yeah, so a lot of snow in Chicago, eh? Well, there you. Dang. Well, be careful out there with the shoveling there, brother. So, yeah, I love that song. There you go. Anyway, so basically, I got a couple. Well, look who's here! Oh my goodness, the wonderful. And we have another lovely lady, the anti-derivative Jill, our chief communications officer, says, "I was trying to lurk, but I noticed you said you're doing an all-day 1000th episode. That just wanted to be sure. Did you know YouTube will only keep the first 11 hours or 55 minutes of your live stream?" Oh, I did not know that, sir, but it won't be that. When I just mean it'll be longer than usual. It'll probably just 3-4 hours. Nothing. But I hear what you're saying. So, yes. Thank you, though. Appreciate that. So, will you roll on the stream? No, it won't be. I just meant basically it'll be a good chunk of the day, but probably no more than 3 or 4 hours, really. I hope. I don't, I don't foresee it being any much more than that. But thank you. I appreciate you on that. That's what an extraordinary communications officer does, huh? Yeah, welcome. I mean, welcome here. I appreciate that. So yes, I that's probably the 3 or 4 range. Hopefully, we'll have some surprise guests for you, and rotate people in and out throughout the course of the day, I suppose. Oh yeah, no, look, I've heard of some people going 10 hours. Athena follower. Athena follower, hello there. Yes, bad. It's been a while. It's great to see you. But yes, Jill, I have heard that has been the case where people say they're going to go so long and then they just take it. But I've never done anything more than about. I've had the occasional one go over 4 hours. I don't know that I've ever exceeded the 5-hour mark. If I have, I can't remember it. And if I have it, certainly not often. So 4 a couple of times. Aaron Baker, hello there. It is good to see you. So yeah, it won't be. I just meant that it would probably run for a little while throughout the course of the day. But yeah, similar to like the old Global Geek Gang used to go. And I might bring the Global Geek Gang back at some point in March. I might start doing one a month or something like that. We shall see what time permits. What the time tunnel permits. But I don't really. I don't really, a stream going the 3 over the 3 range is about all I really care to do, to be quite honest. Because Saturday Night Star Trek's gotten to 4 hours before. Yes, you're right. Oh yes, yes, Jill. Let's say those are usually the longest ones. Saturday Night Star Trek. But see, when it goes 4 hours, it's only out of necessity. It's just because we can't get, we're trying to get it done as well as we can, and it just, that's not planned, nor is it, is it something that we want it to be? It just kind of happens that way. It's really, it's very difficult to get a handle on why that happens. It's really, it's kind of tough to get a handle on that, but I don't prefer it. If we can wrap up a Saturday Night Star Trek in the 3.5 range, that's what I kind of like to do. Sometimes on these open streams like this, 2 to a little over 2 hours is the best for the best, I think. Especially if it's just me and nobody wants to hear me talk for 2 minutes, much less 2 hours. But and then you go, if there's a topic, however, I'll let it play out, and you can go to the 3. I don't like to exceed 3. On most topic shows. Again, Saturday Night Star Trek is going to almost always exceed 3, and that's fine. If it hits 4, that's okay. It'll be once in a while. Just depends. Still a work in progress, even though it's been a year. I think you're always trying to improve yourself. So everything is a work in progress, isn't it? And the Espics, yeah. Well, yeah, Snorty, you're right. The Espics, then, but I don't mind the Espics. I love them. Now, look, again, as I've said before, what's that? Jill, let's see. Oh, well, you're too kind, Jill. Thank you so much. I love Doomcock, and I appreciate him having me on there. And it's a bunch of guys, so it makes it a little less pressure to have to talk the whole time. And then sometimes, if it's something, sometimes it'll be something I really don't know much about, because they'll be talking about some issues that I never know what's going to be talked about on there that often. When he is kind enough to invite me on, I just go and wing it, and so I always make a fool out of myself there usually. But I love my boy Dimcock. And he's always just such a great gentleman to ask me on there. I really appreciate him. He's my buddy. He's been a great friend. And but I never feel like I'm nowhere in the league with any of those guys. In terms of, when it comes to knowledge of all the inside baseball stuff that's going on with the studios and all that kind of stuff. It's not really my wheelhouse. For me, it's the history of comics and Star Trek and the trivia, the minutiae of all that kind of stuff. Really, I don't know anything about the Kathleen Kennedys of the world or any of that other kind of stuff, but those guys do it so well. I couldn't compete with them if I did try. But but they're such great pals, and it's always such a good time hanging with them. Let's see here. Hello, Clobberin. Time sent you an invitation to my group on Facebook called the Absolute Blake 7 group. Well, I will definitely join that one, Aaron. Thank you so much. Just Joe says, I miss Saturday Night Star Trek. The rants against the game or the Shane Wesley returns. Yep, the picture of the returns app and the picture of the TNJ crew were hilarious. Well, thank you, Jabber. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, oh yeah, that's for sure. There, Phantom Outsider. I hear you, man. Well, you were too kind to say that, Jill. I'm blushing, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. That's very nice of you. And again, those guys are all just a bunch of great guys. So it's always a good time. And of course, he's doing extraordinarily well with that show because he deserves to. So, but yeah, hello there, Lee Anthony Davis. Welcome. Where was I? Yes, topics. Now I'm really happy with the classic comics review topics I'll be doing on the comic shows. Now I got to think of some other topics to fill up Wild Card Wednesday, and there's so many. I do know one thing: when J-Man, he's going to be a while on Blake 7 because he's pacing himself. Man, I tell you what, he's watching one a day. He and his lovely wife, and that's not easy because I would just be going nuts going through them. So, but when he's done, J-Man and I will be talking about that for sure. The Man of J and I will talk about that. So it's always been kind of tough to get somebody on to talk Blake 7 with. I mean, I have Probby, and he did a couple of shows with me early, but we're living different time zones and stuff like that. I've had Dan Hadley, who's a great guy as well. He loves Blake 7. And I've been on with him on his show. He's great. He really knows his Blake 7 as well. I now know that there are a couple of other people that know Blake 7 very well. So I'm looking forward to talking to them about it. Hey there, Cardinal Sim. What's up, bro? Thank you for the $2 super chat. You are too kind, my friend. I appreciate you. Cardinal Sim, everyone. What's up? What you doing, Gil? Were you streaming? I got home a little while ago. I haven't really taken too much of a look at YouTube, so I don't know who's on or what. Well, Gil, thank you kindly again, Cardinal Sin, for that $20 super sticker. It goes without saying that we're all of us here are probably subscribed to Cardinal Sin. But if you're not, you have a link to his channel in my description below. If you have not subscribed to the great Cardinal Sin, please do so. Oh, that's right. You were on with the day guy. That's right. Sometimes I look at my phone, but like I say, when I'm out and about, I never get to watching too much YouTube. Well, I hope you had a fantastic show, bro. A Dag Outlaw is a spiffing bloke. You know? What? Oh, there it goes. Yes. So I finally got Monday night sorted out. Now I'm going to start sorting out Wednesday night and get at least 2 of the Wednesday nights, maybe 3, filled with certain topics that will not be. Again, got Saturday night for Star Trek, got Monday night for comics. Once in a while, Monday night will have to be Wednesday night, since it's wild card, may have to be used for comics if a guest can't make it on a Monday night. But I have to, So other than that, Mark Lurseth, hello there, welcome, buddy. Other than that, I got to think of I want to start doing some random science fiction topics, like talking about certain shows. For example, it'll be like when I'm talking Blake 7, or Doctor Who. I mean, I've been I don't get to talk about real Doctor Who as much anymore. Real deal Doctor Who, of course. And I'm back now watching some of that. I started back watching what they quote unquote call New Who. You know, '05 and up. So it's fun to be able to do that again. It's, you got to find someone interested in talking about sort of thing. Athena follower, 70s Doctor Who. Well, I love it. That's for sure. Like I say, classic Doctor Who as well. I love. I kind of. I kind of lean towards original Who. Cardinal Sin. Most fans will tell you that New Who at least was good for a while. As someone who started, of course, with the original, I've been a Doctor Who fan for almost 40 years now. I would say that I honestly prefer classic Who, but since New Who is a continuation of it and not a remake, not a reboot or anything like that, I did like it. I have reservations a lot. I have a lot of criticisms of it, but I really did like it for about 8 years or so. And then, then I have a lot of criticisms about it, but I liked it. For me, kind of Doctor Who kind of died with the 50th anniversary. So, yeah, I mean, it's dreadful now for sure, Cardinal Sin, but it was great for a while. And like Louise Sparrow was a fan apparently until David Tennant left. I love David Tennant. I actually did love Matt Smith as well, though, Louise. I just think he had lesser, with Moffat running his show, I think he had lesser stories, but I loved him as a doctor. And but I love David Tennant, of course, even because David Tennant, there were things. Oh yeah, Cardinal. Just the chibi stuff is trash, yeah. But actually, Moffat did a lot of bad stuff too. Before that, it just got worse. Of course, it's all opinion, Moffat is great a writer as he was for individual episodes. I don't think he was that great of a showrunner. I love Matt Smith. He had lesser caliber of stories sometimes than Tennant did. The old man, what's up? Let's see, the old man. Oh, displeasure with Flashpoint Paradox. Well, I would be happy to. The old man. Flashpoint Paradox for me. Now, see, I hated the Screw 52, first of all. And the reason why I hated it is because starting with a little thing. Now, again, I'm old, remember, so I'm have older sensibilities for these comic book characters. In the early 90s, when they did Zero Hour, they did a lot of things that I called it Xerox Hour. They started doing a lot of things at DC that pissed me off. Marvel had already chased me away for a while as a comic reader, and DC had done so. And then about after 12 years or so of reading very little DC, around 2004 or so, Jeff Johns, say what you want about him now, I thought he was a pretty good writer at some points. He repaired the damage, the horrible, irresponsible damage done to my favorite and to me the greatest Green Lantern of them all, Hal Jordan. Johns fixed the terrible thing done to Hal Jordan, and for about a number of years there, 4, 5, 6, whatever it was years, I was actually back to reading DC Comics again. Were they great or anything? No, but at the time I still couldn't read Marvel. I was not liking what Marvel was doing. But I hated Zero Hour. I really hated it, Athena. But I liked that they fixed a lot of things, and there were some good titles. And then Flashpoint Paradox, that was done just so they can set up the Screw 52. And it just, to me, it's vile because they set up a lot of really horrible, unnecessary trashing of the characters that led into the Screw 52. Like, for example, what they did to Thomas Wayne, I just thought it was disgusting. What they did to Martha Wayne was worse and really idiotic. I always hate, what I hate most about Flashpoint Paradox is what they do to Barry Allen. Now, again, this was a little bit before this, but all this crap about Reverse Flash killing Barry Allen's mother is horse crap to me. And I'll tell you why. Barry Allen was the one of the few superheroes who didn't have the tragic backstory that they all had. It gets a little old after a while when every single superhero has to have their planet got blew up and they had to get sent to Earth, or their parents are gunned down in an alley, or Uncle Ben, what happens to Uncle Ben. Whereas my favorite, the Fantastic Four, they made a mistake at something and it ended up giving them superpowers, and they just became superheroes because with those powers, they thought it was the right thing to do. Hal Jordan, other heroes had less tragic stories, but what I loved was Barry Allen had a wonderful story of he just happened to be, not only was he a science nerd and a detective for the police department for the forensics lab or whatever, he gets the superpowers of his favorite comic book character, the Flash. He becomes the Flash, and there's no tragedy in there until, of course, later what they did to him in the early 80s, what they did to Iris. And then many, many years later, when they brought him back, they added that stupid garbage about his father being accused of murdering his mother. All that's retconned filth to me. And having a Reverse Flash kill his mother, I hate. It's just moronic. It ruined a clean, wonderful origin that didn't have to be sullied with overly dark trash. So just for me personally, I hate every single inch of the very foundation of Flashpoint Paradox. I think it's a horrible idea to introduce a bunch of dark, nasty shit that serves to darken these characters too much. That was meant to plunge us into the Screw 52 universe, which I hate because it was led into that. And then that's personally why I hate Flashpoint. Now, remember, this is coming from an old man who doesn't like to see his characters turn into dark, brooding shitheads and killers and stuff. That's just your opinions vary. Some people like that sort of thing. And look, if that's your bag, hey, look at it this way. You got what you wanted, and I didn't get what I wanted, so you won. But it was not what I wanted to see to the characters. And I hate revisionism, and I hate taking these characters down dark roads that they don't need to be taken down. And Flashpoint was just relentlessly ugly with horrible garbage in it, like what Wonder Woman does to Aquaman. All these, it's just a bunch of filthy, vile, murderous crap, turning these characters into blood and guts beings. They're not superheroes at all. There's no heroism in Flashpoint. They're just a bunch of murderers with superpowers. And you can explore those archetypes and the ideas in other comics. Don't do it with the marquee DC superheroes. I hate that, and I hate everything about it. And it led us into the Screw 52, which chased me out of mainstream comics. So I hope that if I didn't elaborate well enough for you on there, I apologize, but I get pretty worked up when I think of that. But I hope that at least explains it. It's fine. We don't agree on it and stuff. Everyone's welcome here. All opinions are welcome here, but that's why I hate Flashpoint Paradox. It absolutely dragged down a bunch of characters I love into the sewer that they did not need to be in. But thank you, the old man. I appreciate the question, man. I'm here to answer any questions. And I want to thank you, Cardinal Sin, for the $20 super chat. You were too kind, my brother. I appreciate you. He says, my hopes for Who are buoyed by hearing that the BBC license fee will be gone by 2027. If the Beeb has to tell stories and run on commercial success like their competitors, it will be the best thing for all shows, says Cardinal Sin. Well, thank you for that, sir. I don't know if it's going to matter, buddy, but I hope you're right. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith even in Russell T. Davies, to be perfectly honest with you. Anytime, the old man, I appreciate you being here, sir. And anytime, and I love talking comics with anyone, so any kind of questions. And I'm sorry I gathered on about it too much. I got to admit, I get worked up on stuff. Yeah, that's right, Phantom Outsider. And not only was Barry a police scientist, he was a comic book fan. He was a comic book collector, and he loved the original Flash. Jill says, yes, I could understand that. That sentiment. The only comic character I know about is Batman, and the entire time I was watching Snyder's Batman brand people and kill, I was sure it was an imposter. Yes, he was an imposter, Jill. Snyder doesn't understand the characters or care about the characters. Hack Snyder does not care about values. He just cares about mayhem and violence and nihilism. That's what he is. $2 super chat from Cardinalson. Thank you so much again, my friend. Appreciate you. Clobby, have you enjoyed the TV show The Boys? I have not watched The Boys. That kind of comic never interested me, and the whole bad superhero trope has been okay in some Elseworld stories, but I don't like it. As a foundation, I don't like the premise. I've heard the show by people who did like it said the first season was okay. Then they said the second season got bad and woke and stuff. I'll take their word for it, but that kind of stuff just doesn't interest me. I know a lot of friends who like the comics, and I respect anyone who likes the comics or the show, but it's just not my bag. When it comes to superheroes, I want what I want. In a couple of weeks, J-Man and I are going to be reviewing this comic, and it's written by a complete lunatic in real life. But this is a wonderful exploration of heroism and superheroes and what superheroes are all about. And it deals with the nihilism and the dark stuff perfectly. Kingdom Come. And we're going to do a Clobby's Classic Comic review on this one on February 14th. And I'm looking forward to that. J-Man and I are going to be doing that. So, but thank you so much, Cardinalson. I appreciate you, sir. Larissa Exprero says, I like The Boys. I think it's done well for that kind of thing, but I don't want to watch everything done that way. Yeah. And then that's the thing. People always they want to copy what's out there. The Boys, it's not about superheroes. They're not even pretending they pretend to be superheroes, but they're just people. They're just superpowered beings, which is all fine and good. It's a valid thing to make a show or a comic book about. And better to do that with characters like The Boys than actually do it with Superman and Batman and or Spider-Man or whomever. It was interesting. I mean, the heroes aren't very heroic, but they aren't the real comic book heroes. And you come into it what seemingly overly heroic. Kal-El, buddy, what's up, man? Yes. Yeah, Phantom Outsider. Like I say, a lot of people like those shows, and it's cool. Nothing against them. It just doesn't really appeal to me. And when you're going to explore the whole bad superpowered being trope, for me, it works better when you do it inside of comic books, which are, comics are the native habitat of the superpowered being, or the superhero anyway, or the superhero trope, not necessarily the superpowered being, but superheroes and exploring the costume superpowered beings. Comics are, for me, the best place to do that. Preferably comics that aren't for kids. Yeah, so anyway, that's just me. Again, I look, I know I'm an old fuddy-duddy when it comes to that stuff, I guess. I admit it. I want my heroes to be heroic, but again, as I've said before, there's some really sick comics out there that explore some darker ideas that I've been a huge fan of. I do like some really dark stuff. There's no question about it. Just not all the time. Louise says, I don't read my comics, but I've been enjoying JMS's Telepath series recently. He's got one out there now. I didn't know he was doing anything at the moment, but I know JMS has written a lot of comics. I'm very, very up and down when it comes to JMS's comic book output, Louise. I haven't heard of that one. I think you would enjoy the show. Now, The Boys, if you watch a couple of episodes, it's black humor. You can get into it and dig the snark. I can't even. It just not something I ever want to even bother with. I barely get to watch anything anymore because of all the stuff I'm doing. But I have to watch my 4 episodes a week of Star Trek to review for that, and then the rest of the time I'm in front of this when I'm not, running around doing stuff for my parents or doing other stuff. I'm in front of this computer getting ready things ready for this show and doing all this other stuff. So rarely, the what little time I get to sit in front of a TV, I got I got to pick what I want to watch. It's got to be something that really, appeals to me that I feel like watching. Like I said, I've been binging those, new Who's because at Christmas I watched all the Christmas specials, and that made me want to go back and relive a time when from about 2005 to about 2013 or so, when it was a lot of fun looking forward to the new Who's. Even though, it wasn't as they weren't all great, and I have a lot of criticisms of them. It was fun looking forward to Doctor Who back then for a good long stretch of years. And it's kind of fun going back. It's been a while since I've gone back and watched them again. So right now, what little I do watch, that's what I'm watching, and it's about to be over because I love the actor Peter Capaldi, but I can't stand his era. So I'm going to bow out after I get through with Matt Smith again. Even though like I said, his era left some things to be desired. Second season didn't go woke. It just had gender swap from the books. Well, a lot of you boys, a lot of your friends like Doomcock and Gary, a lot of those guys said it went woke, but I took their word for it. But it didn't matter. Even if they said it didn't, I wasn't going to watch it. No, I'm not a hard work. I'm nowhere near the hardest working content creator on. I don't consider it hard work at all, Cardinal. It's just that by the time I get a chance to watch something, and here's what happens to me a lot. First of all, I'm the weirdest watcher of things anyway because I got to be in the mood to watch something. In other words, it's impossible you can recommend something all day long, but if I don't just feel like watching it, I'm not going to watch it unless I have to. Like I have to watch the treks because we're reviewing them. Matthew Pounder, what's up, buddy? But if we're sitting around and I see them flipping through the damn, hey there, Catman, Dee Dee Myers, good to see you. If I'm sitting there flipping through like Netflix or whatever to find something to watch, I can flip on 20 things that everyone said, hey, that's good. Hey, that's good. Hey, that's good. I go, oh, yeah, so-and-so said this was good. So-and-so that was good. And I can't make up my mind. And eventually I'll just throw in a Blake 7 episode. Or I'll throw in a Doctor Who or a Star Trek, something that's just like my comfort food. Catman, a.k.a. Dee Dee Myers, says, I have to be in the mood to watch certain things. If not, I don't want, Yep, YouTube, then TV, the chance. Yeah, that's exactly. Thank you so much, Jill, for that lovely 149 super chat. Thank you. I really appreciate you. You are wonderful. I'm the same. I have a list of things I want to watch, and I've been binging Voyager. And it's fun to binge something. Whether and I binged Voyager a few years ago, and we'll be reviewing Voyager in a few years. Once we get to that, we'll be reviewing that. Louise, but I hear you. I see it's kind of have something good to review. Crucible the Rainbow Knight, what's up? So, yeah, Gil, I'm a weird one when it comes to that kind of stuff. Whatever time I have to sit down, like sometimes I'll get in the mood to watch. I'm an old school NFL fan. I don't like the new NFL, but for 50 years, the only passion I had that rivaled my love for geek stuff was the National Football League. My beloved New Orleans Saints, who betrayed me, but also my NFL history is something that's very important to me. So sometimes I'll get on a kick out, and YouTube has all these old games from the 70s and 80s and 90s, the full games, and they have all these old NFL film shows. Sometimes I'll get on one of those kicks, and every time I'm watching something, when I have my time, I'll watch something like that. And I've been watching a lot of that Super Bowl weekend. Even though I gave up the NFL 2 years ago, it's just such a sentimental time for me, those 2 weeks between the Super Bowl, whether my team made it or not, because I love Super Bowl history and Super Bowl trivia, that these 2 weeks, now I don't have any cable anymore, so I can't watch NFL Network like I used to, but I'll sit there and watch games on YouTube and stuff and watch the old Super Bowl highlights. And I wish I could do a show about Super Bowl trivia like I used to do, because I love talking Super Bowl and Super Bowl trivia. And nobody else really cares about that kind of crap that I know. We're all geeks that like other stuff, which is fine. But that's going to be a tough one for me. What's that? I never cared for Voyager. Maybe my mood will change when we get to that. Well, Snort, It might be, but like I say, you never know. You might be able to watch it now with younger eyes. Who knows? Older eyes meaning younger eyes, but Thank you for the $2 super chat, Cardinal Sin. Gil, appreciate you. Says, yes, Jill is the bestest wrench ever. She rocks. She does. And she's also the great communications officer. And Louise says she loves Voyager and rewatches it a lot. So Louise is, I like some episodes of that. It's been a while since I've rewatched it, but we're going to be rewatching it again when we review it. Athena says the NFL these days has become an into two-hand touch. Yes, but that's so true. But I love the old NFL. I love old NFL films, and I'm good down here. We usually don't like or care about the Cincinnati Bengals, but because I'm from LSU country down here in Louisiana, and Joe Burrow gave us a big championship a couple of years ago. Everyone down here feels like they're going to the Super Bowl because the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. So it's kind of a big thing down here. Everyone's rooting for Joe Burrow, so I guess I'll root for him. So I'm kind of almost looking forward to the Super Bowl. Let's see here. Cardinal says the only sports he really cares about is Kansas University basketball and Sporting Kansas City soccer. That's right. That's your neck of the woods there. Huh? I got you. The only sport I ever loved was pro football. I watch a little college, but pro football, especially the old school stuff, is my favorite. I miss it so much now that they've ruined it. Saturday Night Star Trek should get to DS9 sometime this fall. Yes. Yes. World made of cardboard. What's up, bro? How did the Saints betray me? Well, they didn't. The team didn't. Look, Drew Brees, for 50 years of loving football, for 50 years, I've loved that team so much. And I don't want to get political here, but Drew Brees got political and bent the knee to the idiotic crowd. And when he did that, it broke my heart. He broke my heart into pieces because I love Drew Brees, and I got so angry at him. He did it twice, in fact, in the summer of 2021, and so that made me just killed it for me, killed my passion. If you told me before that I'd ever lose my passion for the NFL and my team, world made of cardboard, I would have said it's impossible. But Drew Brees did it. Drew Brees broke my heart, and that's a man that just meant the world to me for all that he did for this region down here and for me as a Saints fan. But so it's basically what Drew Brees did, and I'm not going to go into it because it's a political thing, and I don't do politics here, but it was brutal for me. And Critchable says, reluctantly become a Chiefs fan, and my family has always been an MU fan. Well, your Chiefs, sorry about getting knocked out the other day. Man, but they did make the 2 straight, so Chiefs are pretty damn good, Critchable. So. But yeah, when I was on BTR for all those 11 years, I did almost all geek shows, but I did do some weekend Saints shows back then. And I was really enjoying it, but that's all right. It's all geekness now here. So just the way it has to be. And I love me geekness. I love my geekness, even though hey, look, geekness will break your heart just as much as any sports team will. Whatever your poison is, whether it's Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, Marvel, DC, it'll break your heart. The king of comics, the great Jack Kirby, whom I love dearly. He even once said, comic books will break your heart. And I think he meant that for a lot of things. When you get really just love this stuff. Athena said, I was surprised how many celebrities were there at the Rams game last weekend. Yeah, it is right there in L.A., so. And they're a bunch of fair weather fans anyway, the L.A. people. I can't stand the Crams. Well, you know what? It's pretty expensive to go to that stadium. Only celebrities could afford it. Jill, we're looking forward to doing DS9, though. That's typically true. DS9 spent a lot of time writing episodes that belong on a ship once they started. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I see what you're saying there. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be a while before we get to, let's see here. We're in the middle of season 5, Jill. So, really, it's a couple of months. I think we should, am I wrong, or should we be the Deep Space Nine by the summertime? I'm not sure. We might get to Deep Space Nine by the summertime. I predicted the Rams would go to the Super Bowl before the season started because the league wants LA in the Super Bowl. Yes, they do. But I'll tell you this. I think they're going to lose. Their secondary does not look like much. World Made of Cardboard, my passions. Doctor Who, Blake 7, anything with giant robots. I'm glad another Blake 7 fan. I think before you got here earlier, World Made of Cardboard, my buddy J-Man, who had to take off, he is just starting to watch Blake 7, and I'm excited. I'm like an expectant father. I love when anyone starts to watch Blake 7, and he's in the first season that he and his lovely wife are watching one per night. So I can't wait. You know, that's amazing. I mean, I've watched so much. And that's another thing. I can throw on any old Blake 7 episode, pick out just a favorite and just pop it on there. And I've seen them so much, I can quote them back and forward anyway, but yeah. My take on Roger Goodell cannot be spoken on this show, World Native Cardboard, because I would get in trouble with the YouTube algorithm if I told you what I think of Roger Goodell. I find him to be despicable. I'll just tell you that. Here's all right. DS9 Cisco with hair equals disco is a mediocre Cisco bald haircut goatee. Freaking awesome. Yeah, Avery Brooks is great though. Christopher loves Dungeons and Dragons, Wheel of Time, Venture Brothers, several anime, Marvel, and a few other things. Excellent. Venom Outsider. One of the biggest differences between DS9 and B5 was in B5 they never introduced a single vendor on the ship as a main or recurring character. A friend used to call DS9 Mall in Space. Goodell is I can't do it. Yeah. Wow, Matthew Pounder bought the second Dark Shadows coffin set, rewatching from the beginning. Wow. Dark Shadows is amazing. And that's a great old show. That's a great old show, Dark Shadows, man. Did you know that the Washington Redskins got a new name today? No, I didn't hear what the new name. What's the new name, Athena? I think that whole name thing is silly about that. What was it? I was going to ask you guys. I was going to ask you all something, and I can't really. Oh, okay. Jabber says, Clobby, so when you finally started watching Farscape, how many seasons or eps have you seen? I've watched all of Farscape. Hey, Pop Culture Republic, good to see you, my friend. Washington Redskins, which they always should be, was turned into the Washington football team. I remember that. Now it's the Washington Commanders. They'll just call them the Washington Commies. Be done with it. The Washington Command. They should call them the Washington Generals and so that it can remind us of the Harlem Globetrotters kicking their ass all the time. I would have given anything for them to be the Washington Generals. That would be so funny. Could be the Washington Senators, then everybody would hate them. And everybody would want them to get beat because I know there's a baseball team, I think, wasn't it? But imagine them being the Washington Senators, and then who would wear that on their their whole fan base would desert them. Washington Commanders. Wow. That's lame stuff there. Yeah. Why not the DC Clown Show? The District of Columbia Jerkholes. How about the Washington Criminals? Why can't they just call them the Washington Criminals and get it over with? Oh, well. But yeah. So there you go. They got their little name. I can't wait to see their uniforms. So that was another big thing with me on NFL uniforms, all that kind of stuff. I was into every single aspect of the NFL back when I wasn't mad at it. You know, yeah. I remember the Houston Oilers. Remember that? Houston Oilers. Houston Oilers. Yeah. You know, wasn't there Washington Bullets for a while? And they changed into the Washington Warriors or something because it was basketball? Maybe it's just a joke. I'm sorry. Washington Bullets would be too much. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. We could be playing the game of Rassilon at this very moment. Your tone doesn't inspire much confidence, Doctor. I gather we are not expected to win. Brigadier, come along. I think our past is catching up with us. I don't know. See, that's watching what I'm going to do when I get done with this Doctor Who that I'm watching now. I always just skip to a few Blake Sevens. I think I might go back and just go do a deep dive on classic Doctor Who again. I've watched them so much, but it has been a while though. The thing with classic Who is you can jump all over the place. I'm in the mood to watch some John Pertwee episodes. Although I do love me some Troughton episodes as well. Come to think of it, I love Tom Baker the best. Damn, see, I can't choose. That's another thing. If you just, unless you're pulling out one of your DVD or Blu-ray thingies, and you're just like you're lazy and you're on Amazon Prime or BritBox. That was the 5 Doctors Pop Culture. Thank you. Yeah. Wow. There you go. Yep. Brigadier, I think our past is catching up with us. Maybe it's our future. Come on, run. Oh, damn. You've had this place redecorated. Don't like it. Oh. Yeah, I love me some Doctor. Tom Baker was my doc. Louise, you have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Athena followers, Doctor is a Stephen Strange. Well, he's a good one, isn't he? Thank you, Matthew Pounder. I wish. I'm no good at that. Not really all that good at that stuff. Now, Athena, I would ask you, and it's okay to give us, when you say Stephen Strange, of course, I know you mean Doctor Strange. Are you a fan of comics, or are you just more of a fan of the film, the Benedict Cumberbatch one? Cardinal Sin says, I've been buying the new remastered Blu-ray releases of the Pertwee, Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Sylvester McCoy seasons. They also do Colin Baker with all the. Yeah, I've been getting those, but I can't really afford them that often, especially lately, Cardinal. So I always wait till they go down in dirt cheap in price. So I can't get them when they first come out. I have a few of them. There are a bunch I want to get. So I keep a watch on them. Sometimes every now and then they'll go on sale to a fairly good price. And so I'm way behind on those, but I love those Blu-ray sets. I wish they would just do them in order, but I guess that's not possible. So those are those sets have some amazing extras. So Cardinal Sin, my good buddy Michael with Retro Blasting, he gets those as well, but he gets the British versions, which are really nice. But I'm right there with you, dude. These remastered Blu-ray sets are fantastic. I love them. And like I say, I have a few, but not as many as you have. I want to get. I haven't got the McCoy ones yet, and I love Sylvester McCoy. Okay, well, cool, Athena, excellent. Well, me too. I love the Ditko Doctor Strange, and of course Frank Brunner, Marshall Rogers, the Gene Colan stuff. I love it. Great stuff there. Absolutely, Athena. No, I think I love the casting of Cumberbatch as well. I think he did a fantastic job, and he's pretty good. Again, but I'm just an old school comics guy, and it's funny how now isn't it weird if you're old like me and you love old comics and you're an old school comics fan. It feels kind of weird that we live in a time now where someone could say, I'm a big Marvel fan, just for an example. And you get in a conversation with them, and yes, they're younger than you, but and the conversation goes nowhere near comic books. It's always about movies. So there are people who call themselves Marvel fans that never picked up a Marvel comic before. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's that no one's responsible for the time they were born in. But it's still like, wow. It always is kind of jarring to me a little bit. I'm like, so they're just talking about movies because these characters are movie characters now. We have to face that, unfortunately. But to me, there will always be comic book characters, even though I like some of the movies, not many of them. But I get the British ones. Oh, you do? Okay, good, Gil. Through Zavi, yeah, I have a region-free Blu-ray plug. There you go. Well, that's excellent. Yeah, that's cool. Those are, the American sets are pretty nice. But those I've seen the British sets, Gil. Those are fantastic, man. Love it. That's great stuff. Cool. Favorite Marvel character of all time: the giant-sized man thing. Oh my goodness. Created by Steve Gerber, Val Myrick. Yes, he was on the verge of being a deity in comics, and now they're about to kill him and put Carol Danvers in his place, or Clea or somebody. I don't know. Clea, I'm a younger fan, a millennial, but I love the comics too. Well, that's excellent, Principal. Excellent. It's pouring, freezing rain here. Oh, are you in? I didn't know you lived up in DWF. I know you're from my neck of the woods there. We're in a cardboard right now. We've been getting some nice, fairly cold weather, but the past couple of days we're up around in the 60s and it's raining. But we're gonna get some cold stuff again. You know how it is way down where I am, man. We don't get anything super outrageously cold, I wish I hadn't given Cardinal says I wish I hadn't given my Savage Sword of Conan collection to my friend to borrow. Now neither of us knows where they are. Oh my goodness, dude. I know how that feels. Decepticon, what's up, bro? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for popping in, man. Card, I've done that before, man. I've loaned a comic or something before a video and it got lost. Dude. Man, that sucks, brother. I'm sorry. I know how it feels. The only problem I had with Doctor Strange was that every once in a while in Defenders, he'd get knocked out by ordinary people. Sons of Serpents always ticked me off. But I love Defenders, though. I hear you, Phantom Outsider, but yes. Well, you know why, right? Because Doctor Strange was all magic. He wasn't really physical. That's why he would always bring in the big guns and the bruisers like Hulk and Subby and Silver Surfer and then Valkyrie and all these people. Because he was just about the magic. He wasn't going to be slugging it out with anybody. But you knew that. Athena says, in the MCU, they watered down Steven to where he's just a magician who dabbles in some. Yeah, they do that to everything, don't they? You are quite correct. Let's see here. Oh, cool. Also, the Cosmic Cube ain't an Infinity Stone, as per yeah. Don't get me started on what they did with the Infinity Stones and the Tesseract and all this kind of drivel. They took a lot of, even though I like some of the movies, especially in the early on, they took a lot of stuff from Ultimates, and I'm a big look. Ultimates, if you're a fan of the Ultimates, that's cool, fine. I don't like Ultimates. The only thing I would say for Ultimates was at least they gave you a choice from 616 universe and Ultimates universe. So yeah, Trevor Cunningham, welcome. Good to see you. Trevor says, I'm a Bronze Age comic fan looking forward to Moon Knight series. However, had the original run of Moon Knight. Yeah. Well, let's hope that's a good show. I too had those. I like that original run. Let's see here. There was a time. There was one time that Steven took out Galactus with just one spell. It was in the Fantastic Four books, the issue when Nova became Galactus Herald. Yes, that's basically the trial of Galactus, or was it called Trial of Galactus? What's it called? That was a Byrne issue. I know that much. Like you said, that's when she became she became Nova. They changed that on the. I love the FF cartoon, but they changed that to Ghost Rider on there for some reason. I wish they'd used it. I would have chosen using Doctor Strange like they did in the comic. Let's see. Cardinal Sin says, I liked Iron Man 2. I thought our Age of Ultron was inspired. And of course, the first Captain America movie. I didn't like Iron Man 2 that much. I liked the first Iron Man, of course. Love it. A couple about this last summer, my buddy Michael with Retro Blasting and I, we did an episode. At that point, there were 23 existing Marvel movies in the MCU, and we ranked them all from worst to first. And I loved Age of Ultron. I'm one of the few that had it highly ranked, and I love the first Captain America movie, and I think I love Winter Soldier even more. So I do love a lot of those movies. Kal-El says, most of my knowledge of Marvel comes from the MCU, sadly, but since the movie started going woke, but thanks to Clobby Spinner Rack and these live streams, I've become familiar with the comics. Well, thanks, Kal-El. I appreciate that, man. I love doing the Spinner Rack, and because I love the Bronze Age. I love old comics, as you know. And Athena says, yeah, the Eye of Agamotto is not a cosmic stone. It was a relic passed down by Agamotto himself that holds his power and his presence when he became of the Vishanti. Yeah, but the idiots writing the MCU don't know that kind of stuff. Since where I grew up, there were no comic book shops. I mostly know Marvel and DC from the cartoons in my childhood. You must not have been near where I was. I know you lived down here, World Made of Cardboard, but there was my comic shop, and a couple of the ones I ran, I worked for other people. I wish you'd have been able to come see me at those, man. Yes, in the cartoon, Ghost Rider used the penitent stare, which really shouldn't work. As to Galactus, there is no evil intent. He's simply eating. Exactly. That is an outstanding point. That's why it should have been Doctor Strange, and it aggravated me. The Doctor Strange spell was better, as it forced Galactus to be confronted by all the souls of the eight. Well, again, this that is kind of what the Ghost Rider spell was made out to be. It just should have, they used Ghost Rider. I don't know why they used him exactly. They shouldn't have. But they could have used Doctor Strange because after that cartoon on the Hulk cartoon that was coming out, made by the same people, both Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider made appearances on that Hulk cartoon. Look, yeah, MCU, and now it's the MCU, so that doesn't even count. But when it was still the MCU, it was still Chicken McNuggets. It was the Cliff Notes, and it was fine when they made a good movie. That's fine, But I'll take animation any day over live action movies. I say that all the time, and I'm still blue in the face. Yeah, I had a few comics from grocery stores, Walmart, and most precious of all, the cartoons and Wizard magazine. Yeah, don't get me started on Wizard, but we're from different times. I didn't like Wizard, but I know it was very popular at that time. Oh, Matthew, enjoying Slash Maraud. Maraud has a John Carpenter Escape from New York vibe. Slash Maraud, that was by Paul Galassi, right? Didn't Paul Galassi do the art for that? I bought that. That was like mid 80s, mid to late 80s or something like that. That was when DC was trying all kind of crazy new stuff. So there you go. Comic Relief Crusader, hail. There you go. Oh, excellent. So, yes, I remember Slash Maraud. Man, I remember a lot of the more obscure comics of that time. So, let's see here. They water it all down. Absolutely. I grew up in Loranger near Hammond. I know Hammond. Near Hammond, Louisiana. I know Hammond. I only got to go to Baton Rouge every now and then for special trips to Cortana Mall. That's gone now. Well, mostly. And Toys R Us Children's Palace. Remember those? Also gone. All other there now. Yeah, I got you. I used to, but I went to Hammond quite a bit myself. But I hear you. And back then, Hammond had kind of sort of a comic shop for a while, but memories. Yep. Galassi was good. Yep. I bought Epic every now and then. I think I think the only time I bought Epic magazine consistently for me personally, Cardinal Sin, was when it had John Byrne's The Last Galactus story running in it for a while, then he never finished it. Remember that one, everybody? They'll never finish that story. Yes. At one point, Hammond had actually two comic shops, but that might have been before you were there. Yeah, that was in the 80s. 80s and 90s. Well, let's see here. I hope Hungry Boy. I'm going to pretend that at some point you'll hear this one because I want to talk a little bit about some comic book artists. I found this, and it's only a top 50. They didn't put the top 100. But my comics friends here will appreciate this, I guess. CBR, don't laugh at me. I know CBR is full of crap, but they did a vote, and I gotta wonder who votes on these things sometimes. Except this is one I don't know if I've looked at all of this one, so maybe it'll be kind of. There you go. It's they had a poll. And they've got, it says 100, but it's got the top 50. Okay, let's go with 50. And I'm going to give my opinion of these, of if they should be on here or not. Because, man, some of them, I don't know about this. I'm sorry, some of these, man. Yeah. All right. And they got the top 50 writers. As I get older, I see more and more of the toxicity of Wizard magazine. I shudder to think of it, and it can't erase the good times I had perusing that mag, though, in my youth. I know, I'm just being an old fuddy-duddy when it comes to that, man. Sean, yeah, I mean, when the MCU starts doing adaptations of Night Mask and Kickers Inc., you'll know they're really reaching. I was born in 71, so you're not that much younger than me. There you go. But I got you. So here we go. Yeah, there was one in the mall. That's right. Okay. All right. And they were voted on, not by a lot of people, but, it's not the big, a big quantity of voters. So let's give them some slack. However, Karl Barks at 50, that low. Now, that's fine, considering who's some of the people ahead of him, though. Karl Barks was a genius. So, Karl Barks at 50 is suspect. Okay, Chris Bacalo at above Karl Marx at 49. I mean, by the way, they got a tie for 47. That means there's no 48. Okay. David Aja, I don't think he belongs above Karl Marx on any list. Nothing personal. Jaime Hernandez, I can see pretty high still. I don't know about that. I mean, they're of the thousands of comic book artists who ever lived. I mean, come on. But I respect, him. All right. 46, Joe Maduria, really? That high? In the top 50? Okay, now here's one that's way too low. Jim Aparo is a top 20 or minimum. Okay? He got 5 first place votes, so that's something. Alex Toth is a top 10er minimum. And they got him at 44. That already makes me go, huh? Who's going to be above? How are there 42 some bitches above Alex? I mean, Alex Toth and Jim Aparo? Are you kidding me? What in the hell? Okay. Ivan Reyes is tied for number 42. He's good, and he's tied with Marshall Rogers. That's too low for Marshall Rogers. Look, these are votes, so, fine. I'm just saying, are you nuts? Now, this one really enrages me. Kurt Swan at 41, that's a top 20er at least. I love Kurt, and I'm not just saying because I'm biased. I am biased. All of my commentary on this list is going to be biased. What's that? Credible, is Alex Ross on the? I don't know. We'll find out. I haven't looked at this, or if I did, it was a long time ago. Okay. At number 40, John Cassaday. Great artist. I don't know, but above some of the other ones. 39, Brian Bolin. Great artist. Again, wow. Norm Brayfogle is a tie at 37 for, this is what gets me. Are you shitting me with Joe Kubert at 37? Who did they 37, Joe Kubert, who taught most of these motherfuckers. Joe Kubert. He's a top 10. Are you out of your mind? I know who's voting. Who does the voting here? I mean, sure, whatever, but no, not sure. That's nuts. So that's bad right there. Olivier or whatever. Copiel. I can't even mangle his name, and I apologize. He's more modern, and I don't really see much of his stuff, but he's not better than Joe Kubert. I love Jim Starlin, and I don't know if I would put him over Joe Kubert. Tim Sale sure as hell isn't more important than Joe Kubert at 34. Stuart Eminem doesn't belong above. I'm going to start, since Kubert's that low, I'm going to mention him on every one just about. Stuart Eminem doesn't belong in the same breath with Joe Kubert. Now, Wallace Wood at 32, are you shitting me? He does belong in a class with Joe Kubert. So at 32, you people are out of your friggin' skulls. Mark Silvestri is no, he's a nice guy. He's not better than Wally Wood. Barry Windsor-Smith at 30, he's too low, and I'm not sure I wouldn't even put him above Kubert. Fiona Staples, who in the living? Okay, I had missed. Oh, thanks, Chris. No biggie. See, Chris, when I see a bot, if you take it out, I still see it, so I don't know that it's been taken out or not. If I take it out and then it shows me so and so bot was blocked, see what I'm saying? So if I see one, you could have already taken it out, but it doesn't tell me that you did. So that's screwy ass StreamYards for you. All right. I don't know who no offense to Fiona Staples, but I don't know who she is, so she must be modern. She doesn't belong anywhere near any of these people. David Mazzucchelli, great artist, not better than any of the other guys he's above. I mean, not better than most of these guys. Bernie Wrightson, yes, he belongs way higher than 27. I love Gene Colan. I wouldn't put him above Kubert and Wood and Wintersmith. I love Dave Gibbons. Still, he's not above some of those other guys, but 25 is fine. I've never been the biggest Arthur Adams guy. I can see him being high up there, not above some of these other ones. And I'm about to lose my shit on the next one. Yeah, Athena, Arthur Adams is crazy. I'm about to lose it here, folks. Gil Kane at 23. Are you absolutely out of your freaking mind? And if that's not bad enough, Alan Davis is fine and all, so nothing against that, but he's a little high. Will Eisner at 21? Are you nuts? Holy shit. J.H. Williams stole everything. I mean, his style is so stolen from about 5 of these guys that he's ahead of. It's ridiculous. Steranko at 19. What is wrong with you people? And I'm about to lose it on the next one, too. For a different reason. That's absolutely right, Matthew Pellner. Not just Mazzucchelli, Aja and Sale, and a lot of people owe a lot to Alex Toth, man. Eisner at 21. You've lost your ever-loving mind, you people. Steranko's too damn low. And Tom McFarlane sucks. He's not as good as he doesn't belong in the top 100 for. I know if you guys are some McFarlane fans out there, that's fine. I know he's just popular. I can't stand him, but even if I did, I just don't like him that much. But he is not better. He's stolen his style from several different places, and he is not in a class with any of the guys he stole his style from. To have him above a Jim Steranko and a Will Eisner and a Gil Kane is a disgrace. A disgrace. Absolute idiocy. Mike Mignola is I like him. He's never my favorite, but I can see him being high, but I wouldn't have him above any of these guys, any of these serious guys. Darwin Cook, rest his soul. I liked him a lot. I don't think I would have him above any of the big heavy hitters, but I like him. Holy shit, Mobius at 15. What is wrong with you people? I got to be honest with you on Frank Miller. I like a lot of his writing. I think he's way too high at 14. Frank Miller doesn't belong above some of these other ones. Oh my God, Nevin, you are shitting me. John Romita Jr. At 13. Someone thinks John Romita Jr. is a better artist than me, than Mobius or Gil Kane or Will Eisner. John Romita Jr. Holy shit. Oh my God, man. John Romita Jr.'s on this list, dude. Okay, let's see here. At least he didn't write above his pappy. Walter Simonson, yes, he should be high, but even Simon, we've already seen about 8 or 9 guys that should be higher than everybody right now at this point. But if they're high and I love them, I'm going to go, and I love John Romita at 11. It was fine. I would have him higher personally. John Buscema at 10. I love him. I don't think he should be above Kubert, though. Frank Quitely, you got to be kidding me. He doesn't belong in a top 10. I like him. Bill Sienkiewicz does not belong anywhere near a top 10. Sorry. Neither does Alex Ross, who paints everything. I like Alex Ross. Hungry Boy, what's up, bro? Good to see you. I dedicated this one to you before you got here. Alex Ross at number is. I like Alex Ross. So that's fine. Bill Sienkiewicz doesn't belong in any top 10. Sorry, I know people like him. It's okay though, I guess. All right, Steve Ditko at 6. Jesus Christ. All right. Neil Adams at 5 is fine. Jim Lee at 4 is a disgrace. Jim Lee don't belong in the top 50. Now, Comic Relief, I know a lot of people like him, so if you think that's a good rank, that's cool. I don't like Jim Lee. I think Jim Lee sucks. I'm the only guy out there that can't stand him, but I understand he's well-liked, but he don't belong at no 4. I know this is a voted system, so it's fine. It's just opinion. I'm just saying, Jesus Christ, Jim Lee is not worthy to smell Joe Kubert's farts. Sorry. And the guy was born on the very same day I was. Same year and everything. Let's see here. Okay, 3, John Byrne. No. I mean, that's high. I mean, he's great at least, so it's fine. It's tough to argue with George Perez at 2. And at least they got number 1 right. At least they got number 1 right. So it's fine. I'm astonished that they got number 1 right, considering all these other screw ups. But I'm just not a big Jim Lee fan. What can I tell you? I mean, a lot of people like him. But holy shit, man. Whatever, but hey. Again, it's all in fun, folks. I'm not really actually mad. I'm just like, wow. And now I'm going to look at the writers because no one ever talks about comics writers much. Now, bear in mind, I have not looked at the writers. Athena, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, D-Bud, I might have blown up. Have a good night, Athena. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Okay, I haven't looked at the writers list yet. Let's give the writers some love here. Carl Barks was 50 on the artist list. They got him at 50 on the writers list. He was a writer. It's fine. Brian Azzarello sucks and doesn't belong in the top 2,000 because he's a bitch. Don't get me started on Brian Azzarello. I can't stand that mother. Okay, Brian Azzarello's. Never mind. I'll go on. Gilbert Hernandez. That's pretty low for him. That's a guy that wrote one of the most respected comics of the 80s, Love and Rockets. That's pretty. Oh, Gail Simone. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is wrong with you people? I realize that. No. Yeah, Dan. Look, Dan Slott will be high. All right. Okay. Jaime Hernandez. Fine. Matt Fraction, I'm not into him. I don't know why people think he's so hot. Keith Giffen, Keith Giffen can go screw himself. I love some of his Legion art. I love it when he was aping Kirby before that. He wrote some really shitty revisionist Legion crap. I liked Ambush Bug, but Keith Giffen has done he did a lot of dumb shit too from when he revived Legion. Love and Rockets, good. I never really got into Love and Rockets myself, Comics Relief Crusader. But a lot of people really loved it. I respected it. It was a very popular comic of the 70s. It just wasn't really my bag. Nothing against it, though. And it's very popular. I have every respect for Love and Rockets. Agreed, Hungry Boy. Giffen, his art changed and his writing was weird. John Ostrander, he was a good writer. Steve Gerber, that's pretty low for Steve Gerber. Jeff Loeb could get screwed. I like some of Jeff Loeb's stuff early, but Jeff Loeb can do a lot of really dumb shit too. If I talked about Roger Goodell and said what I really think about him, I'd get demonetized. All right. James Robertson was a good writer. I never read much of Ruckus, so I'm not going to make I'm not going to make a Ruckus. Not really my bag, but okay. Jane DeMatteis is a good writer. Will Eisner all the way down at 37. My God, the guy created the Spirit. Holy shit, dude. That's pretty low. That's pretty low for Will Eisner. Jesus, man. Jerry Conway was a hack. Sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. He killed Gwen Stacy, the little bastard. But Jerry Conway's a hack. He just kind of churned it out. I don't know. I'm not a Conway guy. I don't know about the rest of you. Tom King can go screw himself. I don't know if I've read much of his stuff, but I've read his things he said to people, so I don't really care. So that's actually kind of low, isn't it? Since he thought he was popular. Now, this pisses me off right here. My beloved Paul Levitz at 34, but I am biased. I love Paul Levitz. I love his Legion stuff. He's done a lot of other stuff that wasn't all that great, I guess, but I love Paul Levitz, so I'm just glad he's in there, I guess. What little I've read of Rick Remender, I was not impressed. Wow, Dan Slott is tied with Scott Snyder. I haven't read much of Snyder. I've read about 3 or 4 things by Slott that I liked and about a bunch of crap that sucks. Dan Slott did a total of like one good comic series that lasted 8 issues and one mini series that lasted 5 issues or whatever, and he sucks after that. Walt Simonson's too low. Walt Simonson's a good writer. So 29, tied with Lynn Wein. Lynn Wein, that's way too low. Lynn Wein was an excellent writer. He was a great writer. Great comic book writer. A prolific one, too. All right, Robert Kirkman was a one. Look, he's done some. I've liked some Robert Kirkman stuff. I liked Invincible for a while. Even read Walking Dead for a while. But after a while, he does the same old shit. I'm going to be fair to Jeff Lemire. People like him. I've not read his stuff, so I can't say anything about Jeff Lemire. I just don't think he should be above a Lynn Wein or a Lynn Wein or a Wein or a Walt Simonson. It's certainly not a Will Eisner or a Paul Levitz. Jim Starlin's done some great stuff. Fine, that's pretty low at 26. Mark Millar can go screw himself, and I've last someone who's liked a lot. Not a lot, but some of the things he's done. Actually, at 25, that's probably pretty low for him considering how popular he is. So that's fine. He's just such a dickhead. Steve Englehart at 24. I don't know, man. He's got a body of work that's considerable, but fine. Okay, now this is going to sound weird coming from me, but Jack Kirby at 23 is probably about right because he was a creator and a plotter. He had some issues sometimes with his dialogue. I think he should be a little bit higher than 23, but he was an artist, a creator, and all those other things. And just for the things he created and the concepts and ideas alone, probably belongs in the top 10. So 23 is too low. But I'm not pissed off. I'm like, people are giving him they're demoting him a little bit for his dialogue. Matthew Pounder, Gerber was, they got Gerber way down at, I saw him. Where was he? At 42. Denny O'Neil at 22 is a disgrace. Denny O'Neil at 22, that's too damn low. Jason Aaron, what little I know of him, I don't like him. But I can't be. I got to be fair. I haven't read much. Roger Stern, I think, is okay. That might be a little high for Roger Stern. I mean, he's done some okay stuff. He's a good writer, but I don't know. At least one of the old guys is up there. To hell with Jonathan Hickman. What I've read of his FF, I did not like. I don't think he needs to be that high. It's nice to see Marv Wolfman at least fairly high. You know, he was a good writer. Peter Davis has been an excellent writer at times and has done some dumb shit too. So it's fine. This is really a disgrace. Roy Thomas only at 16? What the fuck? Oops. I weren't supposed to curse. Well, I'm in trouble now, folks. Algorithm's going to get me. Oh, well. John Byrne's way too damn high. John Byrne never could write that much. He could write some good Star Trek comics. He helped the plot very well with Claremont on X-Men. They covered each other's faults a little bit. He never could write. I mean, he wrote FF for a while, like a couple of years, pretty good. Then he did a lot of schlocky, stupid shit. He then Byrne proceeded to write, in my opinion, terribly on the Superman and stuff. And he's done a lot of hacky stuff, some okay stuff. John Byrne, for the body of work that he's written, doesn't belong in 15. He's certainly not better than a Thomas or a David or any of these guys. John Byrne's too high. Jill says, just an estimation. You were right. We start DS9 this July. Then we start Voyager next June of 2023, which takes us to May of 2024 is how far we're going to go with Voyager. Wow. Thank you, Jill. We start Enterprise around May of 2024 and finish before Thanksgiving. But given the chance for rain, it might take a little longer. Well, we have some stops in there somewhere to go do stuff now that some restrictions are lifted, but you never know. No, like I said, I've liked a lot of Byrne stuff. I just think he's done a lot of crap, too. I just think he's a little high. I'm not saying Byrne doesn't belong anywhere and hasn't done good stuff. Brian K. Vaughan, I don't have much to say about him. Garth Ennis is too high. He's a dickhead and he's overrated beyond belief. Ed Brubaker's a good writer. I mean, I don't know about that high, but okay. Kurt Busiek, this is a disgrace. Busiek belongs in the top 5, except maybe he has done a lot of stuff that kind of waters down his career because some of the stuff. He's written some of the greatest stuff ever, but some of the other stuff doesn't hold. Okay, but Brian Michael Bendis doesn't belong in the top 2,000. He sucks. Get him out of there. Screw Brian Michael Bendis. He is poo poo. Hey, Jill, hold on to that if you would, or maybe I think we might mention that on the show, or just mention it on the show Saturday night, and let us know so we just get everyone. Everyone will probably get a kick out of it. Okay, Warren Ellis is another one who's overrated. Jesus Christ, he's done some good stuff. See, Michael Bendis, to me, hasn't done anything good. Him in the top 10 is a disgrace. You certainly having him over Kurt Busiek and Roy Thomas. Go screw. I can't stand Brian Michael Bendis. Jeff Johns, a little high. He's done a lot of good stuff, and he's done a lot of watered-down stuff. Mark Waid, as much as a shitbag as he is, he's probably a little high, but he's written a lot of good stuff, so let's be fair. He's a total tool shed as a human being, but he's written some good stuff. I'm shocked that Neil Gaiman is this low, not because I love him so much, because I don't really like him that much, to be honest with you. He's okay, but he's written some acclaimed stuff. So I'm surprised Gaiman's not higher. Frank Miller you could argue could be higher, but I don't know. He's written some great stuff, but he's written some stuff he's written some horrible stuff. Chris Claremont, I think that's a little high. Mr. Wordy McWordface, Mr. Soap Opera. But I won't say too much about him. Stan Lee, I'm shocked, is at 3 instead of 2. Because all the things whether you believe the credit boxes or not, he gets credit for. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and not even go into my usual Stan Lee rants and just say there's no way Stan Lee doesn't at least belong at 2 over Morrison. Having Grant Morrison number 2 is a mind boggler to me. Grant Morrison has written some good stuff, but he's written a lot of crap. For God's sake. I'm not saying Stan hasn't written crap, but Jesus Christ. Grant Morrison? But I'm going to have to agree again with the number 1 here because I know Alan Moore has written some of the most ingenious things ever done, and he doesn't have a gigantic body of work to go. He's got some stuff that isn't as good as others, but he's not like he's got like a few, like a big bunch of masterpieces and then stuff that's almost bad as his good stuff is good. He's got some bad stuff, but nowhere near. And of course, he doesn't have quite the body of work as some of these guys either. But he's written some milestones. I'm going to go ahead and agree with both of their number ones, Kirby and Moore. But yeah, I'm actually going to say that I think I would understand Lee at number 2, to be honest with you. Even though he put his name on other people. Well, no, Matthew Pounder, I agree with you. But see, no one ever listens to that. No one wants to hear us. When you insult Stan Lee, you're insulting Santa Claus, and I'm exasperated, even going there now. Thanks for all the great information. I have learned a lot from your streams. Thank you. Learned from your channel and from Retro Blasting. I have not been disappointed. Well, world made of cardboard. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate you, and you have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for being here, my friend. And well, I absolutely disagree with that Comic Relief Crusader, but that's personally fine. You're not the only ones ever said that, and a lot of people don't care for Alan Moore. I once thought about writing a book about all of his works. I mean, we've done a show about him here. I am a huge fan of his great stuff from the 80s and even some of his 90s stuff. And he's done some stuff I don't like. And he's a Looney Tunes. But he has written stuff that other than some of Busiek's greatest work, has almost no peer. There's some things Alan Moore has written, in my opinion, that comes close to having nothing quite to rival it. I mean, that's just me, though. I'm going to do very soon, I am going to do a top 25 all-time favorite comic stories. It's just going to be tough to do that. Going to be tough to do that. But I am going to do it. Maybe I'll find, usually it's when you do a list like that, you find somebody who, who's been around. Matthew Pounder, that's a good point. All right, see, but all right, some of the writers that didn't make that list, Jerry Siegel, wrote a lot of stuff. Bill Finger didn't make that list. Gardner Fox didn't make the list, folks. Brian Michael Bendis makes a list. Dan Slott makes a list, but Gardner Fox doesn't? Yeah, okay, I'll take you guys seriously. Hey, was Steve Englehart on there? Did I miss Steve Englehart? I think he was on there, yeah. Okay. He was on there, but he was just low. Oh, I agree. He is a good writer. Just personally think he's overhyped. And oh yeah, no. Nobody wins or loses there, dude. I can name you a lot of people that don't like Alan Moore stuff, and you're not alone. Nobody I don't care how great someone is to one of us. You can find the greatest. There's going to be someone that doesn't think you're all that great. In fact, there's going to be someone that thinks they're total poo-poo. And you know what? That's okay. It's perfectly fine. Look, opinions are fine around here, folks. They're only opinions and they can't hurt you. What is Alan Moore's best known for? Yeah, he's best known for Watchmen, and I think rightly so. Yeah, I would have to say that would be the one that it makes sense that he is the most known for. Sure. Yes, Art Spiegelman did. I think he did win a Pulitzer. You want to hear what a putz I am, Decepticon? I mean, look. By the way, it's disgusting that somewhere in Tennessee, they're trying to get mouse taken out of a library at a school, which is ridiculous. But you know what I'm most fondly remember Art Spiegelman for? You guys are going to laugh at me, but I'm glad you mentioned him. Yeah, that's a good point. He was missing. I actually. Does anyone around here remember Wacky Packages? Anybody? I know someone remembers Wacky Packages. I used to love these damn things as a kid. And the old classics. All right, let's see. Nope. Oh yeah, Wacky Packages. I knew you old guys would remember. Art Spiegelman actually used to Topps trading cards and whatever. They used to do these stickers. Pop culture. They were called Wacky Packages. And what Wacky Packages were, and this when I was a kid, it started like late '60s, early '70s, whatnot. And they were take popular products, and there were little spoofs of popular products that were big of the day, and there were a sticker, and there were bubblegum cards. Except they were bubblegum stickers, really. They came with stickers, excuse me, not cards. And as kids, we couldn't get enough of them. Art Spiegelman did the designs for a lot of the early ones. And let's see here. All right, let's see. You may have seen him and you just don't remember. So see Wacky Packages. Yeah, a little bit before your time there, I'd say. But man, I used to love these things. Oh, I couldn't get enough of them. And they would have things like, let's see here. Well, uh, find some examples. Let's find some of the old ones. Fright Castle grease burgers, a great midnight snack, horrific taste. You know, obviously, it would be making fun of. It was spoofing every product out there. No product was safe. Captain Crutch. There's one I Captain Crud inside. Yeah, you remember these now? Yeah. Yes, he worked for Topps and a lot of other ones. Yeah, they did some 80s ones too. I bought some of the 80s ones. Man, I just loved it. I think they were a precursor to Garbage Pail Kids. I think they were. Let's see here. There's some later ones there, like Unlucky Charms. And they were silly, you know. Hungry Jerk, extra heavy pancake mix. Buy it, stupid. Spillsbury. Odd Rods, huh? I remember the Odd Rods. Whoa. But yeah, Art Spiegelman worked for them, and he developed some of the early ones. He did the art. Of course, he doesn't. It was just a job to him. But man, we were kids. We loved them. Blow your mind with hostile Twinkies, brain-filled hostile Twinkies. The hostile Thinkies. Sorry, not Twinkies. Thinkies. Go nuts with Stinker Toy. Man, I couldn't get enough of these freaking things back then, man. Another kid. There we go. They got some new ones out there now. So yeah, I don't know what it made me think. Oh, you mentioned Art Spiegelman, but yeah. So I don't know. Sorry, just got derailed there. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help it. I like these silly things. Let's see. Where's I had a T-shirt. Oh, I like to. Let's see if they got my T-shirt here. Oh yeah, there's Gulp Oil. A-jerks. There you go. Condemned by good housebreaking. Blue Blood A-jerks. The do nothing cleanser. You got to be a jerk to use it. Anyway. Yes, there was Pepto-Bismol one. I saw a picture of it, but I couldn't click on that one. Yes. Oliver Belamonte, good to see you, my friend. What's going on there? Says, Clobby, it's unfortunate Bill Finger wasn't around to share the royalties of the Batman franchise. True. I hated Bob Kane taking all the credit. Yes, and I'm sure you've seen that documentary, Batman and Bill, on Hulu, that talks about that, Oliver. Yeah, if you haven't, of course you probably have, but in case you haven't, that's yeah, pop culture. They were clever, but they were obvious. But they were for kids, and the kids love that kind of stuff. And, I had a Hawaiian Punks T-shirt. Oh, I had a Kentucky Fried Fingers T-shirt. And there's a Never Ready to Throw Away, 0 Lives, Assaulted Battery, Keeps You in the Dark. Is who, Spiegelman? Is who still alive again? Is who still alive? Bill Finger or Bob Kane? Either one of them. Yeah, Jill, these were hilarious. I mean, they were they still, like I said, they still make some of them, but I like these old school ones. I mean, these old ones, obviously. Let's see here. Take a lucky stride away from these cigarettes. DANGR, danger. And when I got this, there's a funny story about this. Is like in the 70s when I got the Lucky Stride one. Oh, Spiegelman. Yeah, Spiegelman's still alive, I think. I think he is. My dad smoked these Lucky Strikes. And so I used to make sure he saw this thing all the time. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, here's one I like. Listerine Monster Mouthwash. Hey, now see, here's one of the newer ones. Let's see. Wendy's Old Cut Cheeseburgers. It's a gas. Oh, well. Wow. A malt Disney Jersey classic. The Little Barmaid. Wow. I think Spiegelman is still with us, though. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he is. So I didn't know. Well, anyway, sorry everyone. I don't know. Just made me think of that. I used to love these damn things. Maybe I'll show them to Raquel and Mark tomorrow night and see if they've ever seen them before. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. We've been here almost the 2-hour range, and by the time I get through cleaning up, it'll be 2 hours. So I'll start by saying, I really appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight. I will put the link in the chat for our wonderful first officers work, or science fiction work right there. Raquel, please go check that out. Things coming up. Yes, Matthew Powder, that's what made me think of it. There's a school in Tennessee that's trying to ban mouse. Oh, Jill said, so I went to a comic book store to get a present for my son's friend's birthday and asked what Star Trek stuff they had. No gold keys, but they had a $5 stack of 40th anniversary cards. Oh, cool. Nice. I took the back I took the back of 9 of them and make one big picture like a puzzle. Nice. I love those old puzzles. You could you could turn over the back of the cards and they made a puzzle and stuff. Card collecting back then was so much fun. I love it. Those are cool. Yeah, it's tougher to get gold keys now, Jill. Obviously, because they're getting older and then they're going up a little bit in price and stuff. Um, they've started to reprint them though, if that means anything to you. You know, there's some albums and stuff that collect the gold key comics. If you like trade paperbacks, just to kind of read them. There's a lot of stuff like that, which is cool. Again, that's if you just like to read them or whatever, because they've done a lot. They've reprinted a lot of them. So, man, oh man, yeah. They for a number of years ago. Yes, Matthew Poundard. I believe Gold Key, Dark Shadows was done by Gold Key. Yes, I do believe so. Now, a number of years ago, I'd say somewhere in the early 2000s or something, Jill, they put out a little disc on which they had put all Star Trek comics up to that point, up to about 2003 or 2 or 4 or whatever, everything that you could just put on your computer that they sold. They did it with a couple of different comic books. They did it with all the Star Trek comics. And I mean the Gold Key, the Marvel, the DC, when it to Malibu, when it was Malibu Marvel, when it went back to Marvel, it's got, and then went back to Malibu. All the Trek comics are on that disc. I have that. Actually, I have a copy of it. A buddy of mine gave me. They did it with a couple of comic books too. Like they had like 400 issues of the Fantastic Four on there, 400 issues of Spider-Man. They've done it. I think they did one with Captain America, maybe the Avengers, if I remember right. They stopped doing those, I think, but they did do it with Star Trek. If you just like to read them on your computer and stuff. But I love the omnibuses and stuff like that. But they don't do it. They haven't done it. They've done some Trek omnibuses. Not omnibus. They're not really in quite an omnibus form. But they have some pretty big collections of them. I think I could be getting the company wrong. I could double check. Maybe it was either Eagle Moss or IDW did a big like compilation of a bunch of books reprinting all the Treks, those Trek comics. Pop culture. I was checking out some Gold Key books for Magnus Robot Fighter, Solar Man of the Atom, and so on. Way too much for what I was wanting to spend on them. Yes. They are not cheap, buddy. You are correct. And the thing is, Jill, I don't know if those discs are still floating around out there or not, but I'll try to remember if I can check for you to see as far as those discs that have them on there where you can just see them on your computer. But yeah, Eagle Moss or IDW or whatever have done albums where they reprint all of those comics in various forms. And then sometimes if you run around shops, you can just see them. And again, not the Gold Key so much. You probably have to get them. They're always going to be pretty expensive. But some of the other ones, not so much. So, yeah. Anyway. Well, anybody else got anything? Any questions or anything like that? This is when we hang out and stuff. So we'll close them out now. If we've got any closing questions or comments that anything you want me to comment on, I want to throw that out there. The reason I bought cereals is because they had free Marvel or DC mini toys or cutout masks. Yes. Well, that makes sense. Yes, Magnus with his skirt. Hello there, Captain Marty Spock. What's up, brother? What you say there, man? Matthew, did you like the Valiant revival of the Dr. Solar and Magnus and all those guys in the 90s. I was a big fan of that. That's some good stuff right there. Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Well, yeah, he was Turok Son of Stone when he was at Gold Key, but in the 90s he became Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Yeah, the early 90s Valiant, man, I loved it. I was getting kind of fed up with some of the comics around that point when they started coming out with those Valiant books. Magnus Robot Fighter, Rye, Solar Man of the Atom, Harbinger, Exo, Man of War, Archer and Armstrong. Loved them. Clobby, will you be lining up early for the Thor, Love, and Thunder Inquiring Minds? Yeah, I'll be lining up so early they won't even see me there. Yeah, I've heard some things about that, Chris. That looks like they're gonna. I mean, I have a lot of problems with Thor Ragnarok. And this just, man. It looks like it's really going to be bad. And so, I don't know, Chris. I'll probably watch the damn thing, but as for lining up early, that's questionable. Isn't that coming out this year? I'll probably watch it. See, what I won't do now, I'll still watch any old shit, but I'll sit through any old crap, but I'm not going to spend a lot of like, for example, we could have a conversation about it here. What I won't do is review anything anymore. I won't talk about any of the Disney. I mean, I might sit through a show. It's one thing, but I won't devote a show to reviewing it like I used to, if you know what I mean. I mean, who's watching the book of Mando Fett? Every single channel's doing shows about it. Why should I do one? I watch it because I have free access to Disney Plus, Disney Minus. Otherwise, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't pay to watch it, but I have access to it, so I watch it. But I don't do, and I just just out of curiosity, and I don't. But I would never do a review of it. Everyone else is doing it, and that's fine. Hey, cool. The Legends of Vox Machina instead. I don't know that one. Crucible, I'm not familiar with that. Yes, Love and Blunder will be a July. Okay, I understand about Ragnarok. They did turn Thor into a Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Even the people behind Book of Boba Fett have lost interest in Boba Fett. Yeah, they're just like, Boba who? Boba Fett. Yeah, I mean, I'm now it's shifted into the Mandalorian season 2.5 or something, I guess. Yes. I mean, I'm sure Boba will be back next week. He was in this last one for like 3 seconds. Okay, it's D&D stuff. Thank you, Hungry Boy. Gotcha. I got you, Crucible. Thank you. Look, again, I'm old. I don't know about a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But people are, look, a lot of people are really excited about what's going on Boba. I guess you all saw it, right? Anyone here? I mean, is anyone in our crowd even watching that? Because, man, you can't go anywhere right now on YouTube without somebody talking about it, which is, it's fine. It's understandable. And here, by me mentioning it, I shouldn't even have done that because I could have been the only guy on YouTube not talking about it. Except for Captain Spock. I bet he's not talking about it either. Oh, the EFAP reviews. Those are fun. I haven't seen. I always like EFAP. I don't get to watch it that much. But you know, Comic Relief Crusader, I hear you. Pop Culture Republic, yeah, I understand. It's fine. Let's see here what the Crucible says. It's fine, Clobberin. I shared a room with my grandfather and learned about the Shadow from him. Yeah, the old radio dramas and tape. Oh, cool. Love those. The Shadow knows. Sorry, mainly a Trekkie. Only seen the 6 movies. That's all you ever need to see there, Jill. That's all you ever. Look, I'm more into Trek too. Look, I love. Look, obviously, Empire Strikes Back is probably my favorite all-time film. I love, of course, Star Wars. I don't call it anything but, or I don't call it New Hope. I just say Star Wars. I have a lot of problems with Rehash of the Jedi. I have some. I've liked a lot of Trek. Like a lot of Star Wars comics. I've liked a lot of Star Wars books. I do. So I could say that I really care about and love Star Wars, but I'm not hardcore like some people are. I mean, it's not as important to me as Star Trek or comics or Doctor Who and stuff. But it's important to me, and of course, it means a lot to me. It's in my heart. It's just not quite at the top for me. Nevertheless, I feel it when I've been I hate what's happened to it, like a lot of people have. There's one more episode left from Boba Fett. They'll probably do something stupid like D.H. Harrison Ford to bring Han Solo back. That's the rumor. But look, Star Wars is a big deal there, Jill. So only because my son has Disney minus, and I join him the herd and watching Boba Fett. Yeah, and look, I watched The Mandalorian, and it was. I don't know if I talked about this before, but it's okay. When I get excited about a show, I will watch the new episode, and then I'll probably watch it again that same night, or at least before the next one comes on. I'll have watched it 1 or 2 or 3 times, like I was doing when New Doctor Who was good for a while, back in the early 2000s, and the aughts and into the teens a little bit. When I was excited about that, I would watch the new episode a couple times that week before the next one would come on. Mandalorian, I've never gone back and watched one. I thought, it's okay. That was good. It's nice. It's all right. It's a good show. And it's fine. So I like it. And they kind of got to my heartstrings a little bit with the Luke Skywalker appearance. Good night, Sean. Good to see you there, brother. Thanks for being here. That kind of got to my heartstrings a little bit with that. I'll admit it. I'm not immune. And then so I thought, I'll watch Boba. And I didn't like it. I didn't like the first episode. Really didn't like the second episode and hated the third. Thought the fourth was just kind of all right, but wah. And then they bring the Mandalorian and make the show about him again, and I actually enjoyed that. Except for that annoying mechanic woman, enjoyed the show okay. And then this week, I thought it was good. But it was all about the member berries, as people say. Oliver says, "Are you tempted to get the Mego reissues toys of Star Trek?" Yes, tempted, sure. I love Migos, but I can't really afford stuff like that right now, so no. But it taught me that the Mandalorian is way cooler than Boba Fett. I mean, he's still not, his show's not all that great either, at least in my opinion. But he's a cooler character, I think. But hey, maybe that's just me. But so it was kind of fun while it lasted. We got to see some cool things as far as the past 2 weeks, I mean. But You know, the last episode, how are they? I don't think they're going to knock it out of the park. They'll probably have some good stuff in it. I hate to see the old Timothy Oliphant character, Cobb. It was kind of cool to see Cad, was it Cad Bane or whatever, but seeing the Oliphant character get killed, I don't know. That wasn't optimal. Yeah, but it happens when we do. Well, what you gonna do? I don't think they're gonna be able to knock that last one out of the park. And if Grogu chooses to go with Mando, I mean, does that make this? I mean, all these people who think they're not gonna, all these people saying they're gonna abandon the Disney. I wish they were gonna abandon the Disney canon trash, but I don't think they're gonna. I just don't believe it. If all roads lead to Disney, then we're on a bad road. Even if they put some okay stuff there, who cares? It's still a road full of heading to shit. Yeah, well. Anyway, show notes, everyone. Like I said, our wonderful friend, my wonderful first officer Raquel. There of course is the link to her wonderful works of science fiction in my link and description below. There are many links to the channels of wonderful YouTubers and good friends, and of course links and other stuff. I will hopefully have my Spin Rack Time Machine videos up by tomorrow, the next one for beginning for February, and so looking forward to that. Let's see here, before Saturday night, tomorrow night, Clobby's Clubhouse with my wonderful first officer Raquel and our great chief engineer, the extraordinary Monica D with a C. And so I'm looking forward to that as always. Same Clobby time, same Clobby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow night, Thursday night. Cannot wait. Also, then we have Saturday night Star Trek, same Trek time, same Trek channel. I'm looking forward to that. 4 more episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation in the season 5. Monday night will be I'm not sure what it'll be a definite. By the way, Sunday nights, Mark D with a C has his show as well that we try to hang out there, Sunday Night Geekery. And then Monday night will be something. I'm not exactly sure what yet, but it'll be comics related to, that's for sure. And then Wenesday, February 9th. Clobberin Times is issue number 1000. That's the big 1000 celebration. It'll be 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I don't know exactly how long it will run, but we're going to have some guests pop in and out. We'll see how it goes, what happens. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Just a little bit of a celebration. My 1000th episode. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be great. And then the following Monday, the 14th, yes, it'll be Valentine's Day, but the great J-Man, I'm not exactly sure what time, might be a special time, will join me for a Clobby's Classic Comics review of Kingdom Come by Mark Waid and Alex Ross. So, that's what we got on tap, on the way on Clobberin Times. Now, I want to thank everyone who was here with me tonight. Let's see if I can remember. It's been a bunch. Of course, the wonderful, lovely anti-derivative Jill. Thank you so much, Jill, for being here with me tonight. Appreciate the help, by the way. Thank you so much on that. Also, the wonderful, lovely, beautiful Sherry. Thank you so much. Louise X. Sparrow was also here. Thank you, Louise. I think she had to run. The great master of all that is the wrenching, and that is the great Eric K. And also the other great, thank you, thanks for being there, brother. By the way, Eric, the other great wrencher, the great Chris Persia. Pop Culture Republic, thank you for being here, my friend. The Comic Relief Crusader, thank you, sir. Captain Marty Spock, Captain Conley Spock, I know who you are. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hungry Boy, thanks for popping in, brother. I really appreciate you. Matthew Pounder, thank you so much. Crucible the Rainbow Knight, thanks. Thank you. Fathom Outsider, appreciate it, buddy. D-Bud Band of Iron, thanks. Thanks again. Cal L, buddy, appreciate you for being here. Let's see here. Oliver Belamonte, I think I already said that. Captain Marty Spock, I think I already said that. See? Decepticon, thank you so much. The great J-Man. Man, I'm trying to run the thing back where I can remember everybody. You know my memory, folks. I think Trevor Cunningham was here earlier. I think the old man was here earlier. Cardinal Sin here, of course. Thank you for everything you did there, Gil. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. I'm trying to remember everybody. I should write them down one day. Like I should do that, like I do on Saturday Star Trek. The Catman, aka Dee Myers. I hope you and the missus are doing well. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. If I forgot anyone, folks, I am so sorry. It's my dumb memory, just the way it is. But I do appreciate you. And hey, always a big shout out to the great Steve Noki for this intro outro that he's made for me so long ago. And I appreciate him. And again, anybody I missed, thank you so much for being here. If you were out there on the streams listening or on a replay, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if you would. It helps a lot, and I appreciate your help and everything. And I always forget to say that. Oh, Mark Laseth was here. That's right. Mark Laseth. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I apologize. But I think I got most of you. And again, I just, look, I'm senile. So thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate you. And have a wonderful rest of your day and night, my friends. And I hope I see you all here tomorrow night. Again, same Clobby time, same Clobby channel. Clobber on, Clobberers.